On our screen, we have an e-commerce app. We have this list of products in our main catalog screen. So if we go to the cart screen from our bottom navigation, the cart is empty at the minute, and then when we click on checkout, we have this screen. So we're going to be adding items to cart in a minute. So let me just demonstrate how this works. So if I click cart, add to cart, see we get this scaffold messenger there, and then our cart get this batch number that updates our cart. So if I click this, for instance, realize that we have an item in our cart. So if I go back here, I can add another product. So every time we add a product, we get that notification. I can add this. It's minimal is a smartwatch, and then when I go here, we can increment the products, the quantity of products in our cart. So we can increment like this, 2, 3, and then if I want to set it as 2, then when we go to checkout, so we see that our total and subtotal have populated here, and then we have the option of applying a coupon code. We set our coupon code. We're going to get into that later, but let's just if I wish to add coupon code, I think the coupon code is save 20. So if I apply here, so 20% off, so the 20% has been deducted from our subtotal, and then it's reflected here in our grand total. So if I click place order, I get this dialog, and then when I do done, so we've done our purchase. Now currently this is loading this data locally. In our subsequent tutorials, we're going to be hooking these to Firebase so that we can work with a local database. Now, to manage our state, we're using provider. Remember, we started our demonstration on provider in the previous tutorial when we set up provider. So to get it started, in my popspec.yaml file, I have a provider installed here in my dependencies, and then for the images here, for these images, I've set up an asset folder at the root of my application here. So I have this asset folder, and then there's the images folder, and then these are the images that are being displayed in the app. So I've passed the path here inside popspec.yaml. So this is it. Under assets, we have assets images. So this is the path to my images. So when you do this, we do pop.get, and then our app can access our images here. Now, for our data, we have a schematic representation of our database. So I'm going to go to library folder, and then here in data, I have 2 subfolders, data sources and modules. So here in the modules, I have let's start with product model. So here we have this product model. These are the our product schema. So we have ID, name, category, price, image URL, badge color, and then we're passing these properties into our constructor. Now our cart obviously is going to depend on our product, so we are importing our product module here, and then we're setting a quantity property here, and then we just pass in all of our product here with our quantity inside our uh, cart item module here. So we're setting our quantity to 1 by default, and then we're using this getter method for total price, which returns the price of our product multiplied by our quantity. So whenever we need to calculate total price, we can just use this getter method here. And then after that, for our data, I have data sources, local and local database here. And then here we have, this is our sample product. So we are calling our product module here, the constructor of our product module here. So this is an object. So we are passing the properties here, ID, setting this to P1, name, that's the name of a product, category, price, and then the image URL, that is the path to our image files here, asset images. So this for image 1. And for the second product, we're doing the same like we did here. We have a batch color, that is these colors that are decorating our product images. So that's all we have here. Okay, so we've done with the data. Let's look at, I think we've done with data module. So let's look at providers. We have cart provider. So here we are doing this mixing. Cart provider extends a change notifier. So here we have our items. This is a map in that. So our property is going to be string, and a value is going to be this cart item is from our cart module here. So don't get that confused. So here we have active coupon, discount rate set it 0.0 at a minute, and then here for our getter, we're just spreading our items here inside our items getter method. So this is a type for our getter, so it's returning the same type as this. So when we go down, we have another getter method here, total item count, and then we have this dot fold property, dot fold method here. Now, if you're familiar with what is it called? If you're familiar with dot reduce method, this has a similar. It shares dot fold method. Shares a similar characteristics to dot reduce, except here we have to supply our initial value. So what this does is it reduces our collection, that is our items collection. It reduces it, so it's targeting the values of our items collection. So dot fold method, what it does is it reduces our collection to a single accumulated value. So it does that by iterating through the elements and then combining the items or the elements in our collection using the function that we provide. So our dot fold method is going to accept 2 parameters. Is a 2 argument now. The first argument is our initial value, which is set as 0.0, and then the second argument is a function, a callback function, and then this callback function returns our previous value and then the item, the next item there in our collection. So it's returning there like this. So we're using this to calculate our subtotal. I think for our total item count, we're doing that as well. So that's that. And then we also have a getter for our active coupon, just as we have for discount rate. And then for our how to cart, obviously we're passing our product here. This is from our product module. And in here we're saying, okay, if our items collection, if it contains key that has this product ID, we want to increment our quantity like so. Otherwise, we're just passing our items into our cart, and then we want to notify our listeners, that is our child, our widget that subscribe to these data. And then for our remove from cart, doing items of remove, then we're passing the ID, the product ID of the item or the product that was removed, and then we're also notifying our listeners. And then for the update quantity, if our item does not contain a product ID, we want to return this function. Otherwise, if so we also have this another if statement. If the quantity is less than or equals to 0, we want to remove. Else, we just set the quantity to be the quantity that was passed. So that's what we're doing here. When we add items to cart, and then we're going here, we increment the quantity. So if you go down here, you see it goes empty. So that's what this is doing, update quantity. And then for our apply coupon, I think we've displayed that the discount rate, our coupon code is save20. If we got this right, if we didn't get it right, it's not going to add the 0.20 discount rate for us. And then we also notify our listener, and then because this method is boolean, we're returning true, otherwise we're returning false. And then remove coupon, because we're setting this to null, discount to 0.0, we're notifying listener as well. And then for our clear cart, this just clears our cart. I think we're familiar with this. I don't think I implemented that. So if I did this, and then I go here, this is going to clear our cart. So our cart is empty now. And then for our checkout summary, here we're not extending any change notifier. That's because this is just a raw dat object, a dat class. So this is injecting raw data and then API into our application. So here we're having functionalities or properties that they never change during our app's life cycle. So here we have the getter subtotal method, which is this cart is from our cart provider anyway. So it's getting the subtotal property from our cart provider. And then for discount, we have subtotal multiplied by cart.discount rate. We set the discount rate to be 20%, 0.20 in our cart provider. And then this is getting our discounted subtotal like so. And then for our shipping cost, we say, okay, if subtotal is 0 or discounted subtotal is greater than 300, that's a $300, we don't want to charge any shipping costs. Otherwise, we just charge $15 for our shipping cost. So all of these are going to be factored into our grand total. And then we have the estimated tax here, and then the grand total like so. And then what else do we have? Let's look at our presentation, our screens, product catalog, or is the main tab screen now. In our main tab screen, we have this list of screens: product catalog screen, cart screen, checkout screen, and then what else? So using our provider here, context.select. So this is select total item count specifically to avoid rebuilding the entire scaffold on other cart edits. So this is our provider, context.select. I'm not going to say much about this because I think we've explained this in our previous video. And then down here we're returning scaffold, and then the body has an index stack. So index stack is going to return the items that is the screen in our list based on the current index that we set. So the current index, it goes from 0, 1, 2. So product catalog screen is going to be here, followed by cart screen checkout. If I change the order, then it's going to display just as I had ordered the screen there. And then what else do we have here? Down here, this is the navigation. So this allows us to navigate between screens using this set state. And then what else? And then down here, this label, this is tracking our cart item. So this label is visible if the cart item count is greater than 0. And then we display the cart item cart here inside our text. And then what else? When we go down here, I think that's all for the main tab screen. So the main tab screen, inside this screens list, we have product catalog screen, cart screen. So let's look at that product catalog screen. So this is what we have in our product catalog screen. In our build method, we have a list view builder, and our item count is a sample product length. Remember our sample product from our local data source here. So this is our sample product here. So we're displaying it. Where's our presentation now? So we're displaying it here in our product catalog inside this list view builder. And then here we're getting certain product based on the index. And then what else? I want to go to the provider aspect of this code, and then we're displaying the category, that's product category. So we are getting each of the property of our product from these what is it now? Yeah, from this product variable that was set here. So for the product ID, is going to be product ID. For the batch color, product batch color, and then on and on like that. For the image URL, product image URL. For the category, is going to be product.category. So it goes on like that. And then I think that's all. And then for our price, we're using a dollar symbol here for our price. So product price dot to string as fixed 2. So just the 2 decimal places, I believe. And then for our on-press property here, we're reading context of read, reading our cart provider. Then we're adding this to cart. Remember what we said about context dot read. We said it's used for accessing methods inside callbacks. So like our on-pressed. So we're using it here. And then we're displaying this scaffold messenger whenever this does this work. Okay. So I think that's all for this. And then for our cart screen, what else do we have here? So we are consuming our cart provider here, obviously. So consumer reviews only this view when cart provider notifies listeners. And then here we are getting, we're setting our cart items to a list so that we can iterate and display them here. So if cart items is not empty, we want to display this button. So this button allows us to clear cart. We're doing cart.clear cart. Now this cart represents our cart provider. So the clear cart is the clear cart method inside our cart provider. So we've explained this before now. So this is going to clear our cart. And then what else do we have there? If we go down, the list builder. This is displaying the items in our cart. So this is getting the length of our items. We're using list view builder, and then we're setting a variable to track each of the items in our cart. And then for the image URL, of course, item.product.image URL. Remember, we are passing product inside our cart. Cart model here. So passing product here. So that's why we're doing item.product.image URL here. So I think that's all. And then for increments, I think this is for removing. This is updating quantity now. So cart.update quantity. So we're just getting that method. What else? So this is going to decrement for us based on these arguments that we pass. The product ID, the quantity -1, and then for the increment update quantity, we just increment the quantity here. So I think it's quite straightforward. And then for our checkout screen, again, here, so this is for our coupon text editing controller. We have to type in our coupon code there, and then we're disposing that here, and then we're watching here. So this is going to trigger a rebuild of our UI. So this access the derived checkout summary computed via proxy provider. We're going to talk about proxy provider later on. So let me just explain what is going on here. And then I think once we type our coupon code, we have what else do we have here? So we have this cart provider set in this variable, and then we can access our data in our cart provider via that variable. So here for the on-press, we have if it's not success, invalid, and then success is so the apply coupon method in our cart provider. We are setting it here, we're accessing it here, and then we're passing our coupon controller text here, and then okay. So when we click apply, then what's going on here? Final success. Okay, when we click apply, that applies our coupon code. Okay, so what else? I think that's all. And then we have this build summary row, subtotal. If summary, I think all of these are just basic, so I don't think I'm going to bother myself with this anyway. So I'm going to leave you with the code anyway, so that you can play with it if you like. So we have this private widget here, which is building our summary. So I think that's that. So let's go to our main dots. No, what is widgets? Okay, so for our widgets here, this is just this is a material app, I believe. Okay, so we're setting our home to main tab screen, so we have to pass this widget into our main.dat. Now in our main.dat, that's the entry point. Inside of our run app, we have multi-provider, obviously, because we're having two providers now. Now the first provider, which is change notifier provider, so it's injecting cart provider into our what is it called? Is injecting cart provider into our application. Now here we have proxy provider. Now see what we have: a dynamically calculate checkout summary whenever cart provider updates. Now for our proxy provider, uh, why this differs from change notifier provider. Change notifier provider is a standard piece of state. This inject a state into our widget tree. Now, when we have proxy provider, our provider depends directly on one or more providers. So you see this now, provider, it has two providers: cart provider, checkout summary. Remember, we have this checkout summary provider as well. So our proxy provider depends on two providers here. So what this does is, this proxy provider, it intercepts. This is what is it? Okay. So when we tap add to cart, we get the add to cart method from our cart provider, and then our product get added to cart. So this executes our cart provider, and then our widget, our UI gets notified. So this notify listener is called. And then our proxy provider, it intercepts this notification, and then it updates callback runs, and then returns checkout summary. Okay, and then we have this widget calling context.watch, then this checkout summary, which we build with fresh and numbers. So essentially what the proxy provider does is it intercepts change, and then it recalculates the value that we set, and then exposes the newly derived object down our tree. And this is a cleaner app design anyway, because when we are building large application, we often need a derived state where data relies on an existing source of truth. So in our case here, we have a cart provider relying on checkout summary here. So that's what our proxy provider is doing here. So for the updates, we have contest cart previous summary, and then we're returning checkout summary. And then for our child e-commerce app, so that's where we have this widget that was passed to our material app. So guys, that's all. Let's do for a final demonstration. We can add this to cart, this to cart, this to cart, and then here we can increment this, select this as it is, and then when we go to checkout, if I just pass save 20 for instance, no, and then I do apply. Okay, so it's transforming this to, what is it called, to uppercase. If I say depth 20 for instance, this is not going to work. So it says invalid code, try saved 20. So anyway, let's say we don't want to use the coupon code, but we wouldn't want to use coupon code anyway. So we can just place order and then say thank you. So guys, that's all for this tutorial. I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.